Good afternoon, dear lecturer, Dr. Emmy Joan, and fellow friends. My name is Farhan Shah, binYuslie with metric number 97403, and these are my dearest group mates: Nur Aishah binti Idris, 100 546, Christina Endi, 98516, Siti Nur Aishah, 97821, Pati Nur Irdina, 98943. Today, we are going to dive deep and explore the world of leadership. Let us discuss on the topic why we should promote women's leadership in decision-making roles, as it fits and highly related to our Sustainable Development Goal, SDG number 5, which is gender equality. Let me start our discussion by stating my view on this matter. Personally, I think we should go back to the root of the problem. That's why we have to promote women's leadership in decision-making roles, which is the underrepresentation of women in leadership. This is due to the deep-rooted gender bias and stereotypes that often influence perception about women's leadership capabilities. Communities nowadays believe that women are not capable of leading, which affect the number of women sitting the higher positions, which is actually backed by numbers. Statistics and researchers have shown that in the year 2021, women only made up 31.7% of top executive roles. However, it is my stand that it is not true that women cannot lead. They can lead. The woman that cannot lead is actually just a made-up belief fact that trivializes women's power nowadays. What do you think about this topic, Elisa? Why do you think we should promote women's leadership in decision-making roles?
Thank you, Farhan. As for my point in our topic, I shall discuss corporate culture and inclusion. Corporate culture can be defined as when an organization's collective values, beliefs, and behaviors that influence its workplace dynamics. Inclusion, however, is fostering an environment that values and welcomes diverse perspectives from all individuals equally. In corporate culture and inclusion, prioritizing gender equality ensures that everyone feels included. This involves dismantling biases, providing equal opportunities, and fostering an environment where individuals, regardless of gender, experience a sense of belonging and contribute meaningfully. As a woman, I give instance that being able to take part as a leader and express freely of my decisions in a group work creates fairness to my gender, thus promoting gender equality. Therefore, women should always be included as leaders in decision making, as well as since it fosters an environment where diverse individuals are valued, respected, and have equal opportunities. And that is my point. So, what about our view on our discussion, Christina?
Thank you, Alicia, for your point. For I'm gonna talk about my point, which is the role of education in empowering women. As we know, education is a powerful tool that not only impact knowledge but also serve as a catalyst for a personal and social transformation. In part of the world, women have historically faced barriers education. However, as we progress towards a more inclusive society, it's become imperative to recognize the transformative power of education in empowering women. Education equips women with skill and knowledge, enabling them to practice in various fields. For example, necessary skill, critical thinking, problem solving abilities, and communication skills. Educated women often become powerful advocates for gender equality. Armed with knowledge and awareness, they are likely to speak out against discrimination and actively contribute to creating a more equal society. Let's take a moment to reflect on real-life examples of women who, through education, have to overcome obstacles and become trailblazers in their respective field. Their stories serve as a testament to the transformative power of education. That's all for my point. How about your point, Aisha?
Thank you for your opinion, Christina. From my point of view, I believe that When there are more women in leadership positions, diverse perspectives are brought to the table, which can lead to better decision making. To elaborate further, women often bring a different perspective to problem solving in ways that differ from their male counterparts, which can help to avoid the groupthink and bring fresh ideas to enrich the discussion. Hence, this helps to foster an environment that encourages the creative thinking and culture innovation. A small study was conducted in 2015 by Josh Bersin shows that gender diversity plays a significant role in fostering innovation. Hence, I believe this is because diverse groups consider a wider range of solutions and options. Apart from that, they are more likely to challenge assumptions, question the traditional norms, and embrace change due to the distant life experience, cultural background, and personal viewpoints. For example, women leaders may be more attuned to issues related to the work life balance, which can be an important consideration for retaining employees, especially those with the caregiving responsibilities. Thus, that diverse groups tend to make a better decisions than homogeneous groups. That's all for me. How about you, Fatin?
Thank you for your opinion, Aisha. Uh, for my point, I will be talking about barriers to women's leadership. So, the barriers to women leadership is the qualities of a leader as well as the path to achieve leadership roles. Are they still largely based on the outdated male model that shuts women out? Were they all stereotypes? Because men have been leaders for so long, the traits associated with leaderships are often true of as masculine and not viewed as favorably when experienced by women. Next, for fewer connections, men still surpass women in having the connections and the networks to learn about opportunities and find mentors and sponsors to champion their advancement. Next, based on the bias and discrimination, sexual harassment, delicate beliefs, and unfriendly work environments continue to be challenges. Due to the additional barriers to the career growth, women of color are even less likely to assume leadership positions. Lastly, lack of flexibilities. Balancing work and families can be challenge that limits women from seeking leadership roles. Workplaces are still designed with decades-old nation of male and female domestic roles. For personal illustration, my grandmother always said that men should rest and let women do the work in the house. It really irritates me that women should perform all labor, even the heavy lifting, since it makes absolutely no sense. Even in Islam, all of the work should be done by men, especially the husband. Imagine your husband can't do anything, even cleaning the house. Imagine having a house during your con- confinement. That's all for me.
Well, that has been a very interesting view from you guys and very eye-opening experience as well from listening to the points that you guys elaborated. But the one that captivated me the most is the point that was elaborated by my dearest friend Nur Aishah, which is corporate culture and inclusion. I would like to agree to your point, Elisa. To me, corporate culture does shape group work dynamics, while inclusion value diverse perspective because of including everyone else in the corporate culture. And from your point, I do agree that we have to prioritize gender equality as it ensures fairness and respect contributions especially women's contributions, and at the same time fosters inclusive environments where everyone thrives. What do you guys think?
For me personally, I do agree to your point, Farhan. It is true that nowadays the higher executive positions in any organization is dominated by male. This is due to current community beliefs that women are not able to lead an organization. By promoting women's leadership and decision-making role, I believe that this scenario can be changed and women's power won't be belittled anymore. Does anyone else have their point of view?
For me, I will be one to disagree with Aisha points with benefit of gender diversity in decision making. I understand Aisha's perspective on the positive impact of having more women in leadership position, emphasizing diverse perspective and improves decision making. However, I can provide a contribution for the sake of discussion. While recognize the benefit of gender diversity in leadership, it's worth noting that effective decision making relies on a factor beyond gender. Leadership styles, skills, and comprehensive approach to diversity all play vital roles. The connection between gender diversity and innovation may be influenced by additional variables, and a holistic diversity approach contributes to more robust decision making. The complex dynamic of organizational success should be oversimplified, and leadership effectiveness involves multifaceted considerations. How about others' points?
I would like to disagree with Aisha's point too. Uh, Earlier, Aisha mentioned that the diverse group tend to make better decisions than homogeneous group. I kindly disagree with that because it is important to note that the effectiveness of diverse group depends on factors such as effective communication, inclusion, and positive team culture. Say leaders who have trouble communicating with flexibility and transparency risk recreating uh, a confused, ignorant, and unmotivated team. Ineffective communication about objective standards and modification can impair the progress of an organization. Simply having a diverse group does not guarantee better decisions. It's how the group manages and delivers its diversity that matters. Diverse teams may face difficulties, including conflict resulting from conflicting viewpoints and communication barriers. To fully benefit from diversity in decision making, and inclusive environmental, effective leadership, and communication are essentials. So my that's why I disagree with Aisha's points.
After listening to everyone's point of view, I had to agree with Fatin's point, which I believe barriers to women's leadership should be our primary focus. This is because stereotypes cannot be changed instantly. They require time as they are deeply ingrained mindsets shaped by the living environment. Besides that, being biased and discriminant could create assumption that women are more nurturing but less decisive, which can impact how they are perceived in a leadership positions. Examples of discriminatory includes unequal pay, inclusions from important decision-making processes, and being passes over promotions despite having the necessary qualifications. Therefore, focusing on eradicating these barriers is not just a matter of equality, but a strategic necessity for fostering diverse and effective leadership.
Do you guys have anything else to say? Sure. If there is none, I think we can conclude our discussion with the 2 points that stand out the most as to why we should promote women's leadership in decision-making role, which are underrepresentation in leadership and corporate culture and inclusion. And I think it is true that these 2 points are correct, not correct, but stand out the most because they are related to each other and complement each other. With that being said, thank you so much for the fruitful discussion, and I'm looking forward for more discussion with you guys in the future. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.